Welcome back to the English Learner Podcast, everyone. I'm Anna, and I'm here with Tom. And before we begin today, if you enjoy learning English through calm, natural conversations, don't forget to subscribe, because every episode is designed to help you improve step by step without pressure.
Yes, everyone. Subscribing helps you stay connected with English regularly, and that regular listening habit makes learning feel easier and more relaxed over time.
Exactly, Tom. And today's topic really matches that idea because we're talking about English grammar without stress.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tom, and I'm really happy to talk about this, Anna, because grammar is one of the biggest worries for many English learners.
That's true, Tom. When people hear the word grammar, they often feel nervous and think about rules, tests, red marks, or being corrected when they speak.
Yes, and that fear can stop people from enjoying English, Anna, even before they really start learning.
Exactly, Tom. And some learners try to avoid grammar completely, while others study too much at once and feel tired and confused.
And both situations create stress, Anna, not confidence.
I agree, Tom, because grammar is not something you need to fight with. It's something you slowly get used to.
Yes, Anna, grammar is simply the way English works, the patterns people use to share ideas, stories, and feelings.
And we use grammar every day without thinking, Tom, even in our first language.
That's a very important point, Anna, because people don't study grammar rules before speaking their own language. They learn by listening and using it.
Exactly, Tom. And English can be learned in a similar way, especially when learners allow themselves to relax.
One reason grammar feels stressful, Anna, is because learners think they must understand all the rules before speaking.
Yes, Tom. And that belief creates pressure because language doesn't work like math, where you must know everything first. Language grows through use, Tom, not through perfection.
And when learners listen more, Anna, grammar slowly enters their mind naturally.
That's why listening is so powerful, Tom, because you hear correct sentences again and again without studying rules.
Yes, Anna, podcasts, videos, songs, and conversations all help learners feel grammar instead of memorizing it.
And reading also helps, Tom. Even short texts, messages, or simple stories show how grammar works in real life.
Exactly, Anna. And when learners see grammar used naturally, it starts to feel familiar and friendly.
Familiar grammar feels less scary, Tom, and that reduces stress immediately.
Another thing I always tell learners, Tom, is that mistakes are not enemies, they are teachers.
I completely agree, Anna. Every mistake shows that you are trying, and trying is how learning happens. And when learners stop worrying about making mistakes, Tom, they start speaking more.
Yes, Anna, and speaking more builds confidence, even if the grammar is not perfect.
Confidence is very important, Tom, because confident learners keep going, even when English feels difficult.
And grammar improves faster when learners are confident, Anna, because they use English more often.
Exactly, Tom. Grammar is not about remembering many names like tense or structure. It's about using English to communicate.
Yes, Anna. If people understand you, then grammar is already doing its job.
And when grammar is connected to real life, Tom, it becomes easier to remember.
For example, Anna, talking about daily routines helps learners use simple grammar naturally.
And talking about yesterday or last week helps learners use past grammar without thinking about rules.
That's why real situations are so helpful, Anna, because grammar appears naturally inside them.
And learners don't need long study sessions, Tom. Even short moments with English every day are enough.
Yes, Anna, 5 or 10 minutes of listening, reading, or speaking can help grammar grow quietly.
And over time, Tom, learners start noticing that some sentences sound right and others don't.
That feeling is very important, Anna, because it means grammar is becoming natural.
When grammar becomes a feeling, Tom, stress disappears.
And learning becomes enjoyable, Anna, not tiring.
Exactly, Tom. And enjoying English is the best way to improve grammar without pressure.
And that's why English grammar without stress is not only possible, Anna, but actually the best way to learn.
And Tom, another reason grammar feels stressful is because learners think they must remember everything at once, but grammar actually grows slowly through daily use.
Yes, Anna, and when learners accept that forgetting is normal, they feel less pressure and more freedom to try again.
I agree, Tom. Forgetting and relearning is part of the process, and every time you meet the same grammar again, it becomes clearer.
That's right, Anna. And this is why repetition in daily life is so powerful.
For example, Tom, when learners describe what they are cooking, cleaning, or organizing, they naturally repeat simple grammar again and again.
Yes, Anna, and those simple actions help grammar move from the head into real communication.
Another relaxed activity, Tom, is watching short videos or shows and paying attention to how people speak, not why they speak that way.
I like that, Anna, because it removes pressure and lets grammar enter the mind naturally.
And learners can pause the video, repeat one sentence, and then continue without overthinking.
Exactly, Anna. Even one sentence a day can make a difference.
Writing short messages is also helpful, Tom, like notes, reminders, or simple journal entries.
Yes, Anna. Writing helps learners slow down and notice grammar gently.
And it doesn't need to be perfect, Tom, just clear enough to express an idea.
That's important, Anna, because perfection creates stress, but communication builds confidence.
Speaking with friends or classmates, Tom, even for a few minutes, also helps grammar feel real.
Yes, Anna. Casual conversations remove fear and allow mistakes to happen naturally.
And mistakes are useful, Tom, because they show learners what to improve next.
I agree, Anna. Mistakes are signs of learning, not failure.
Another low-stress habit, Tom, is using English while walking, relaxing, or traveling.
That's a great idea, Anna, because movement helps the brain relax and learn better.
Learners can describe what they see, hear, or feel, Tom, using simple sentences.
Yes, Anna, and this builds grammar connected to real life, not textbooks.
Grammar also becomes easier when learners connect it to feelings, Tom.
That's true, Anna, because emotions help memory.
Talking about happiness, tiredness, plans, or memories helps grammar stay longer in the mind.
And learners should allow themselves to enjoy those moments, Anna.
Exactly, Tom. Enjoyment reduces fear and increases motivation.
Another thing that helps, Anna, is choosing one small grammar idea and using it all day.
Yes, Tom, like focusing on the past tense when talking about yesterday.
Or using simple future sentences when planning tomorrow, Anna.
This focus keeps learning simple and organized, Tom.
And it prevents overload, Anna.
Grammar also improves when learners listen to themselves, Tom.
Yes, Anna. Hearing your own voice helps you notice patterns naturally.
And over time, Tom, sentences start to feel right or wrong without thinking about rules.
That feeling is very powerful, Anna, because it shows grammar is becoming natural.
And when learners reach that stage, Tom, grammar feels less like study and more like instinct.
Exactly, Anna. And that is the goal of grammar without stress.
A calm, steady, and confident way to use English every day.
And a way that fits into real life, not just lessons.
Because when grammar fits into life, Tom, learning continues naturally.
And learners stay relaxed, motivated, and willing to continue.
And that mindset changes everything, Tom.
And Anna, I think one of the most important things about grammar is that learners stop seeing it as something scary and start seeing it as a tool to express themselves.
That's so true, Tom, because when learners see grammar as a tool, they feel more relaxed and confident, and that makes using English much easier.
Yes, Hannah, and learners should focus on using English in everyday situations, like talking about their day, their family, or even what they ate for lunch.
Exactly, Tom. Those simple conversations give them repeated practice with grammar without any pressure or stress.
And even small activities, Anna, like describing what you see on a walk or what you were doing at home, can help grammar grow naturally.
I love that, Tom, because learners get to practice without thinking about rules, and over time, sentences start to feel right automatically.
Yes, Anna, and listening is another key part. When learners listen to English every day, their brains start noticing patterns in grammar naturally.
And reading short texts, messages, or simple stories also helps, Tom, because it shows how grammar is used in real life, not just in a textbook.
That's very important, Anna, because grammar in real contexts is easier to remember than memorizing rules.
Another helpful activity, Tom, is repeating sentences you hear or read just for practice.
I agree, Anna. Repetition helps learners feel the rhythm of English and builds confidence without stress.
And learners should remember, Tom, mistakes are normal. Making mistakes actually helps them understand grammar better.
Absolutely, Anna. Mistakes are not failures, they're steps in learning, and learners should feel proud when they try.
And another stress-free idea, Tom, is focusing on one small grammar point at a time, like using the past tense when talking about yesterday.
Yes, Anna. Small steps are much better than trying to learn everything at once. It keeps learners motivated and calm.
Learners can also connect grammar to feelings, Tom, like talking about happiness, excitement, or plans.
That's true, Anna. Emotions help memory, so sentences about real life and feelings stick better.
And using English while walking, cooking, or relaxing helps learners practice grammar naturally, Tom.
Yes, Anna. Combining movement with speaking or thinking in English makes learning easier and more fun.
Another tip is to listen and repeat short dialogues, Tom, even for 5 or 10 minutes a day.
That small daily practice is powerful, Anna, because it trains grammar without pressure.
And over time, Tom, learners notice which sentences feel right and which sound odd, and this feeling is very important.
Exactly, Anna. That feeling shows that grammar is becoming natural and intuitive.
And once grammar becomes natural, Tom, stress disappears, and learners start enjoying English fully.
And that enjoyment makes them continue learning every day, even when life is busy.
Yes, Tom, because grammar without stress is not just possible, it's the best way to become confident in English.
And the more learners trust themselves and enjoy using English, Anna, the more grammar improves automatically.
And that confidence, Tom, spreads to speaking, listening, reading, and writing, making the whole language feel easier.
Exactly, Anna. And learners can carry this relaxed approach into every conversation, making English learning part of daily life naturally.
And the key, Tom, is consistency, small steps, and enjoying every moment, because that's how grammar stops being scary and starts being useful.
Yes, Anna. And when learners follow this approach, grammar becomes part of life, not a burden, and English learning becomes stress-free and enjoyable.
One of the most rewarding things about learning grammar without stress is seeing how learners' confidence grows when they use English every day.
That's very true. Confidence makes speaking easier, listening clearer, and it helps learners notice grammar patterns naturally.
Daily, small activities really make a difference. For example, describing your morning routine, talking about what you ate for breakfast, or even explaining what you see while walking can improve grammar quietly.
Listening to podcasts, watching short videos, or reading a few sentences in a book every day also helps grammar become familiar without pressure.
Writing small notes, diary entries, or simple messages strengthens grammar slowly and naturally. You don't have to write a lot, just a few sentences each day are enough.
Speaking with friends or classmates in a casual, relaxed way is another excellent practice. Even short conversations help learners notice grammar and correct themselves naturally over time.
Repeating useful sentences, copying dialogues from videos or books, and thinking aloud are all activities that help grammar sink in. The key is to keep it stress-free and enjoyable.
Mistakes are an essential part of the process. Every mistake is a learning opportunity, and learners shouldn't feel embarrassed about making them.
Over time, learners begin to feel which sentences sound natural. That intuition becomes stronger with practice and patience.
Enjoyment plays a huge role too. When learners have fun while using English, grammar becomes easier to remember and easier to use.
Applying grammar to real-life situations is very helpful. Talking about your plans, describing your surroundings, or sharing personal experiences helps learners connect sentences to meaning.
Even small actions like narrating what you're doing while cooking, walking, or relaxing can strengthen grammar without any pressure.
Listening carefully to native speakers, reading simple stories, and repeating sentences aloud helps grammar feel familiar and natural.
Learners should focus on one grammar point at a time. Using a small focus every day prevents overload and makes learning more enjoyable.
Confidence grows with every successful attempt, even if it's just a small sentence spoken correctly. That confidence makes learners more willing to take risks and speak freely.
Building a daily habit is key. Listening to English, speaking, reading, or writing, even for 5 minutes, keeps grammar active in the mind.
Practicing in realistic situations is also important. Asking simple questions to a friend, describing your surroundings, or telling a short story builds grammar naturally.
Subscribing to resources like the English Learner podcast can help you maintain a daily habit and provide regular exposure to natural English.
Grammar is a tool to communicate, not a test. The goal is understanding and being understood, not perfection.
As learners continue, mistakes become less scary. Every attempt strengthens skills, and English starts feeling easier and more enjoyable.
Reflection also helps. At the end of the day, thinking about what you said, what you heard, or what you wrote shows progress and reinforces learning.
Slow progress is still real progress. Small steps every day accumulate into noticeable improvement over time.
And learners should celebrate every achievement, even if it seems small. Speaking a sentence correctly, understanding a new phrase, or remembering a pattern is progress.
When learners feel calm, confident, and enjoy English, grammar stops being a source of stress and becomes a part of life.
Keep practicing, keep observing, and keep enjoying the process. Grammar without stress is possible, and it leads to natural, confident English.
Thank you all for listening today. We hope this episode inspires you to use English daily, enjoy learning, and see grammar as a helpful tool.
Don't forget to subscribe to the English Learner podcast for more practical tips, natural conversations, and fun learning activities. Keep learning, stay relaxed, and remember that every small step brings you closer to confident English.